Hi guys, welcome to another audio video and I'll be reading Matthew 11 of the King James Version Bible. And it reads, "And it came to pass, when Jesus had made an end of commanding his 12 disciples, he departed thence to teach and to preach in their cities. Now, when John had heard in the prison the works of Christ, he sent two of his disciples, and said unto him, Art thou he that should come, or do we look for another? Jesus answered and said unto them, Go and shew John again those things which ye do hear and see. The blind receive their sight, and the lame walk, the lepers are cleansed, and the deaf hear, the dead are raised up, and the poor have the gospel preached to them. And blessed is he whosoever shall not be offended in me. And as they departed, Jesus began to say unto the multitudes concerning John, What went ye out into the wilderness to see? A reed shaken with the wind? But what went ye out for to see? A man clothed in soft raiment? Behold, they that wear soft clothing are in kings' houses. But what went ye out for to see? A prophet? Yea, I say unto you, and more than a prophet. For this is he of whom it is written, Behold, I send my messenger before thy face, which shall prepare thy way before thee. Verily I say unto you, among them that are born of women, there hath not risen a greater than John the Baptist. Notwithstanding, he that is least in the kingdom of heaven is greater than he. And from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence, and the violent take it by force. For all the prophets and the law prophesied until John. And if ye will receive it, this is Elias, which was for to come. He that hath ears to hear, let him hear. But whereunto shall I liken this generation? It is like unto children sitting in the markets, and calling unto their fellows, and saying, We have piped unto you, and ye have not danced. We have mourned unto you, and ye have not lamented. For John came neither eating nor drinking, and they say, He hath a devil. The Son of Man came eating and drinking, and they say, Behold, a man gluttonous, and a winebibber, a friend of publicans and sinners, but wisdom is justified of her children. Then began he to upbraid the cities wherein most of his mighty works were done, because they repented not. Woe unto thee, Chorazin! Woe unto thee, Bethsaida! For if the mighty works which were done in you had been done in Tyre and Sidon, they would have repented long ago in sackcloth and ashes. But I say unto you, it shall be more tolerable for Tyre and Sidon at the day of judgment than for you. And though Capernaum, which art exalted unto heaven, shalt be brought down to hell, for if the mighty works which have been done in thee had been done in Sodom, it would have remained until this day. But I say unto you, that it shall be more tolerable for the land of Sodom in the day of judgment than for thee. At that time Jesus answered and said, I thank thee, O Father, Lord of heaven and earth, because thou hast hid these things from the wise and prudent, and hast revealed them unto babes. Even so, Father, for so it seemed good in thy sight. All things are delivered unto me of my Father, and no man knoweth the Son but the Father, neither knoweth any man the Father save the Son, and he is whomsoever the Son will reveal him. Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you, and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Alright, guys. So in this chapter, we see where Jesus is basically saying that, well, there are many things that happen here, but what I want to pick out is the fact that Jesus himself took the time to acknowledge John for who he was, a man of God. So that's how highly esteemed John was in the sight of God, that Jesus himself saw him as highly esteemed, as an highly esteemed individual as well. Okay, and we see that John is questioning if it is that Jesus is the one that was promised to come. And if we recall, John was the one that baptized Jesus, and he was there when the heavens opened up and God said that this is my son in whom I'm well pleased. So why is it that John would actually ask if Jesus is indeed the Son of God, the promised one? Why would he ask such a question? It puzzles you, it baffles you, doesn't it? It does, but that's just how things are. The devil plants seeds of doubt in our mind and let us not believe the things of God, the things that God says that we are. He tries to convince us that we're not who we are in God. He tries to convince us that there's no hope for us. He tries to convince us that there's no hope for a new future. He tries to convince us that what we want, our fleshly desires, are basically our primary needs and we need to satisfy them, when our primary need, as we know, is to please God. And in pleasing God, everything else will come. But he convinces us that that is our primary desire and we need to fulfill it. That's a need. We need to fulfill it. So we need to be subjective to the flesh. But that is a lie. One of the worst lies that there could ever be. Alright, so guys, that's really what I wanted you to focus on in this chapter. And I do hope that you will take this to, you will actually sit and contemplate on this, and you realize that anything that God says you are, anything that God says he will do, he will do. Anything that God says he's working on it. He calls you to be something, that's exactly what you're gonna be. Do not let the devil thwart your plans, the plans of God. Do not allow him to do that. That's all he seeks to do. And so I'm asking you today to just allow for the Lord to lead you. Be as babes, where you're open to learning. You are enthused to learn new things. You try to grasp at new things because you want to be able to serve, to communicate with others. Let it be that you're as a babe that you want to communicate with God. You're eager to learn about the things of God. You're eager to walk in the way of God, fulfilling his work throughout the land. All right? And I know it may seem as if it's a burden, but like he says, his yoke is easy and his burden is light. Though it may seem heavy, and though it may seem as the yoke is basically hard and it's just gnashing away at you, he's letting you know that in me you'll find strength. In me you'll find courage. In me you'll have endurance. You'll have power, you'll have might, you'll have authority. And so, guys, I just want to encourage you to just allow yourselves to be subjective to the will of God and not let the devil plant seeds of deceit within your life, seeds of fear. Okay? So, guys, I'm gonna leave that right there. Please remember to continue to walk in your salvation. And if you've not yet gained it, then seek it. There's no better time to begin than the present. Have yourselves a blessed day. Bye.